Right, so we're about 3 weeks after Christmas. It's pretty cold. We've had a lot of sleet, quite a bit of rain, so rivers are in flood, so a bit stuck really for someone to go. It's one of those sort of days, so rather than sort of sticking indoors, not doing nothing, moping around, I thought I'd get myself out on the bank. It's sort of tough where to go. So what I thought I'd do is get myself up here on the River Blackwater. So I got myself a float rod, got myself some bread, a bit of liquidised bread. I thought we'd get the float rod out and do a bit of float fishing today, something a little bit different. Got a 12-foot specimen float rod. We've got 5-pound line right through. A little bit heavy, but there are some nice chub in this stretch. And going down to a size 14 hook. And I think what I do is use bread punch bread on the hook. Give that a go. So I'm going to get this sorted and let's give this a go. Yes, just to show you, there's my liquidised bread, quite fluffy. What I'm doing is just scrunching it up into balls, just chucking 3 of those out. That's breaking down into the swim, hopefully enticing the fish into a bit of a feeding frenzy, you never know. And I'm going to drop my float down with a bit of punch bread on there. Hopefully we can bag ourselves a fish or two. Right, just before I get started, I'll quickly show you the setup. There's my loaded float there with a metal stem, which I quite like using them because that gets the line down in the water pretty quick when you've cast down. And that's going down to some bulk shot down probably about a foot away from the hook. I've got about, that's about 3.5 foot from the float to the hook. You know, I fished this a few times, so I sort of know it's between 3 and 4 foot. And what I do is I'll run it down a couple of times, just sort of tweaking it till I get the right depth. And hopefully we can find some fish then. I'll show you how I hook the punch bread onto the hook. Right, what I've got myself is these little punch tools. As you can see, it's drilled in there, and it's just got a little slot there which you slide your hook in there once your bread's in it, and that just makes it easier for hooking once the bread is actually in there. So what I'd like to do is to just compound your bread, push your tool in, twist it, and that breaks it off. Now you can see there's some bread in there, and then where that slot is in the tool, just pull that in there and pull that out. And that gives you a lovely little presentation, just the smallest piece of bread and a very small hook. And what chub or roach wouldn't resist that? Right, let's see what we can do with that, shall we? So there we go. That was a nice little trot down there, probably about 50 yards actually. Caught that on the long trot actually. A nice chub of about, we'll give that about just over £2. So on a crap day, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's hope we have a few more and a few few bigger chub in that. So already it's safe sitting indoors, moping around, not doing a lot. Right, let's get back. Yeah, good thing about the River Blackwater is most of the other rivers in the UK are in extreme floods and unfishable, and you're getting a lot of water flow down there, a lot of debris. You can usually rely on the Blackwater because what it does do is it finds down pretty quick. And you know, I've come up here from where I live. It was pretty grim. Got up here, the weather's not been too bad. They've had a bit of snow. The river has been in flood. There's a lot of debris all around the paths and up on the banks. So, but it has sort of fined down pretty well. Pretty fishable actually, and there's quite a nice colour to it. I can see the bottom in some areas. Very fishy. Alright, let's get fishing again. Oh god, this one's gone in through. Oh, we're out. Well, they're definitely having it today. Well, let's get me unhooking that. A hand. And now I would say that was a bit of a well-deserved chub actually. Because that swim was a pretty awkward swim to fish. So yeah, nice little chub actually. I'd give him about 2.5 pounds, so there she goes. 2.5 pound chub from the River Blackwater. Caught it. There you go. There we go. Let's get this one back. Excellent condition. That's the good thing about the Blackwater chub. They're absolutely pristine. And let's hope you grow up to be a nice big 6-pounder. Right now I'm going to get him back. It's starting to rain. I'm going to get me a cup of tea. Just before I finish this little piece, I'll just show you my landing net setup. Because what I've got one of these Drennan Super Specialist twist locks, and that's sort of 3 meters, and that really extends really long, as you can see. So there's the end. What's that go to about? I don't know. I'll say that there's probably goes to about 4 or 5 meters. That near enough. It's quite long. So sort of fishing that swim, I probably would have struggled to get it in with a smaller landing net. So yeah, that is my preferred thing. And it sort of breaks down. So now you can see it's not so long, good for when you're walking. So yeah, get yourself a nice long landing net, and then you can fish the swims there. Well, it's not fishing the swims, it's landing the fish in the swims, that's the problem. So there you go, excellent bit of kit. Let's get that cup of tea. Right, time for that cup of tea. Well, before that, I'm just going to bait up with a couple of handfuls of breadcrumb. Get the fish interested in munching. Right, time for tea. So, what makes a good swim for trotting a float down? Well, this ain't a bad swim, so let me see if I can point it out. So what we're doing is, we're looking for a bit of flow. There's a crease down on this line, if you can see down there. And we're looking for the snag, so sort of holding areas where it's a little bit slack of the water and you'll get the fish just off the main current, so they're not using all their energy up swimming in the current. And that's what I'm doing, is just, so I chuck me free bait, the breadcrumb, just in the main flow and let that drift down, and hopefully the chub will come out of there, sort of the slacker areas, into the flow, sort of nipping and ducking in, taking the bait as I come down when I drop my hook bait down under the float. We get dog walkers and horse walkers down on this stretch. Hope that one don't jump in into my swim. You alright?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, what a cold day, eh? No. Well, not too bad for the fish, but yeah, it's
Well, it's got they were warmed up.
So as you probably see, I do like to use a fixed spool reel. Send the float down, leave the bail arm open, let the line come off, keep an eye on the float, and once it goes in under, you can quickly trap your finger on the line and quickly strike, which is my preferred way of fishing, especially on long trotting. I do use a centre pin, but I do like to use a open face reel, and it's quite easy to strike and then retrieve quickly. So it also gets me into a lot of the swims further out, which I find the centre pin a little bit harder to cast. I'm not brilliant on the centre pin, so that's my fixed choice of reel for long trotting, really, and especially on these smaller streams, just makes it a lot easier to get around. I think this is a chub. That's good. So we got ourselves a lovely little roach. To be honest, I was hoping to grab me a roach today. So look at that, a River Blackwater roach. So having a mixed bag today. So nice little roach. Just have a look at him. Give you a better look at him there. There you go, look at that. Nice little roach. A little mark on his back there where something's had him in his younger days. So on a nice cold January day, there's nothing better than catching a nice little roach. So right, let's get this little chap back. So we're losing light now. I think what we'll probably do now is walk back up to the first swim I fished, give that a try as it's getting dark. Yeah, light levels are starting to drop now, and you can only fish into a certain time at night with the float fishing. It just makes it very hard to see the float. I've had a good day, so we've had the 2 chubs so far and that nice little roach, which considering that, you know, I wasn't going to come fishing, I was going to mope around in the house all day, not doing a lot. Just got the wife and the family some jobs to do, which was good to get out really. No, good to be out, enjoy myself. So I'm going to go back up, try that first swim, see how we go. Right, so we're back to the very first swim I fished this morning, and I'm down to my last slice of bread and a couple of handfuls of bread flake. So let's hope we can grab one more, maybe. You never know. Light levels are really dropping fast now, so this is the last swim I'm going to give a go for today, and let's see how we get on. Right, so I lied. One more swim, that's it. Now I'm going to call it a day. That's a problem with us anglers. There's always one more swim to fish. And another one, and another one, and another one. But yeah, this is the last one. Light's getting really low now, so let's give this one a go. If I don't catch nothing from this one, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a good day. I've enjoyed it. 2 fish, well, the 2 chub and 1 roach, which has been good for a short session. I'm happy with that. I'm going home with a smile on my face, and I haven't had to do any painting and decorating today for the wife, so that's a bonus, isn't it? So tight lines, and I'll catch you soon. Oh, I've only gone and done it. Lost it. It came off. Well, I had to lose one, didn't I? That had to be the last one.